Okay, so let's get started with today's trade recap. The one trade I ended up taking, which ended up being a break even, and then yeah, that was it for me today. I just decided to call it a day there. So for today, I had a bullish bias pretty much on almost every asset, which never happens in this consolidation range. I'm very selective with the asset that I'm willing to trade. Like before even looking inside of like what this current candle is doing, I always look at the like higher time frames, right? And like if like for example YM today does not have a good daily drawn liquidity they can reach. Like even though I might be bullish for today on YM, even though again kind of trading away from fair swings, but and today is likely to expand higher just based on the loaded day and how it's forming and whatnot. But for example, YM does not have daily drawn liquidity for me, so it doesn't have a daily swing point, doesn't have a fair value gap, and doesn't even have like previous day's high as a drawn liquidity. So whenever this happens, I never trade this asset. Like right, this is just like, is it likely to expand? I guess yes. I want to see a very clean drawn liquidity. So for that reason, I was willing to trade NQ up until this daily high. Yes, until this daily high, and even RTY again towards this daily high. So like we could have potentially gotten there. The daily wick is pretty small. If we like we were opening up like as you'll see here, like we're still bullish here by the way, but like we were opening up like very close to this. If the driver is gonna expand we can definitely get there, right? So like, and if you look at the daily right now, it's like, oh, definitely cannot get there, but yeah. So yeah, what happens here is actually NQ trades into this high on the, we're going inside the hourly 6 a.m. candle. So we trade into this high, we failed to manipulate this. So at this point, I'm like, there's no drawn liquidity on NQ, so I'm not willing to trade NQ. But what I can trade is SMT break with this high, right? On ES. So fortunately there was no entry here for me to want to take. We literally just rip right away. And so I look at YM, RTY, and I had this marked out on RTY, these hourly highs. I'm like, okay, since we are trending higher, if I can get to our with these hourly highs, which will be pretty much these are relevant swing to the point where honestly it's very weird what happened today. I don't know. It's like again we leave equal highs, we reput a new low of the day. And so I mean let's go over why I trusted the low of the day here. I didn't mean to close it. So we have a 6-hour candle, a 6-hour gap here. I suppose a 4-hour, but it's not on every asset. So I'm just looking at the 6-hour here, and we have SMT fill. So even though it's not as good as an established low today, as soon as like NQ fails to manipulate this high, right, when you close above it, I already trust this like to remain intact, right? Or I mean, I don't know if it. I mean, actually, it depends. Like the driver could have definitely reversed here, but I was betting that yes, we're definitely gonna hit this, and that probably YM was also likely to expand as well. Even though again, if you look at the like 4-hour, 6-hour chart, there's like no drawn liquidity here, not even gaps. There's nothing. So yeah, I mean, even though like where we might get SMT here, like I got to determine there's like this normal where there's a PSP here and there's a CSD. If you want to take that, like you could definitely take it, but I just like this is not good drawn liquidity for me. It's just not. I always want to have like even when I'm trading at all time highs, I never want to have like for example this is the high of the day, so I never want to have like this. This is my only drawn liquidity. It's I just avoid these type of trades. In this case, right, always want to have like something like past this, right? For example, previous day side. If you had previous day side, this would have been like super good. I would definitely taken that. But so that said, let's go over the trade I took, which is on RTY. It's right here. Actually, I should show you the 30-minute. So I was trading desk right here. So we have SMT fill like this. With this one, this 30 minutes, this was an hourly here. Again, as you can see, I mean, you can see this is the hourly, right? It's an hourly gap. I'm just showing the 30-minute. And so it's this candle, so it also closes a PSP. And I was trading this asset, right? Because I am willing to trade RTY. This is like, again, it would be lagging asset. But we are retracing and we are leaving like the high of the day. It's very close to this high. So what I can get here is actually, there it is. I get this, right? Get this V-shaped CSD. while at the same time, we also get this CSD. Actually, kind of different, but we get this CSD on YM, which confirms for me, it confirms that the CSD here on RTY should hold, and this low should remain intact, and we should expand, right? Like if we look at it this way, so we expand, and then we have retracement. This looks like a retracement, even though on the lower time frame, a retracement side of the gap. We have SMT fill, and this candle in itself prints as a PSP. So it's like super high probable, in my opinion, like this trade in itself. So what I do is I enter. It's actually non-market. I get like 2-hour fill with this high. It's not. Yeah, it's actually like this. Okay, never mind. It's not exactly 2-hour. So it's this fill because on M2K here, you see in a second, there's like this high is a little bit different. So I mean, I just require 2-hour with that. And so I enter this trade pretty much. I'm expecting 9M to expand higher, and I'm able to go break even at this high. And I'll go over why I think this trade didn't deliver a bunch of things that even while I was in this trade, so I'll go break even at this high, right? We have this gap. Ideally, we don't get a deep retracement if we're bullish. If we're gonna expand, we should expand away from this low, like pretty much right now. Okay, so I just go break even here. It makes sense, right? And also we leave this gap. I kind of want to see again this gap being left open, which is around where my entry is. I want to see this gap being respected or something like this. So we can hit this high. And yeah, unfortunately, very close to this swim point here. Again, but I didn't close my trade. I just let it play out, and then unfortunately, the driver stops me out at break even. And actually, after that, we actually like RTY expands away from these quite significantly. But so once I get this placing away at the same time, yes, took out this high. Right, so like yes and Q took out this high and they started expanding. R2 is expanding lower, so this is already, like, even on YM, it's lower probability price action, and I just call it a day, right? Because I was willing to long RTY. Clearly, I'm wrong, right? Here, if we're displacing away from previous swings and we get this CSD here, I'm probably wrong. About my bias, so I just call it a day here, right? Like, but yeah, I think this was a pretty good trade, and I managed it as I should have. And unfortunately, it just ends up not hitting this. Now again, we are actually reversing, probably gonna hit that today or tomorrow. I mean, yeah, there's not a lot of time left for sure, but yeah. So either way, so that was the only trade again. So I made my selection at the beginning of the day where I was willing to trade NQ towards this high, yes towards these highs, right, same high, and RTY towards this. And once RTY displaces lower, I'm just not interested in price action anymore for today. I just decided to call it a day there, and just yeah, it's like we are not likely to like it had to be very quick to a point where this should have been the reversal, but this is not a swing point, right? You don't get a candle 3 closure. And it's just like it's a yeah. Once we resweep these low, pretty much like here, I just want to call it a day because like it's like if we're gonna get here, it's gonna be way later on to the day. And what you should trade is like art. It's like you should probably trade YM at this point. Like if you want to trade higher, because the SMT is stronger asset. But again, so I mean, yeah. Why did I trade the lagging asset here? So usually, pre-driver. I mean, if you have a 2-stage crack within the continuation, you can probably trade the stronger asset. So like in this case, it was 2-stage crack, SMT fill plus PSP, right? There's a high probability continuation candle that unfortunately in this case didn't hit, but okay. I think it's just because of like the market conditions that yeah haven't been the best, right? Where we leave these relatively equalized, we displace, where displace away from it. I think most of the time, it's also psychological. The reason why I just like logged out here, logged off for the day. It's also like because like I just know that in bear market conditions, we just like even if we want our reverse here, we hit this high, and then we reverse. I just know that most of the time that's the case. So I don't know. Very shitty market conditions. So I also like didn't want to like it kind of affect my cycle a little bit. to see this type of PA where we were like a couple of points away from TP. Again, even though it might like TP would have been a little bit higher, it's just like yeah, it's like a couple of points away. And reverses like you know, at least it wasn't a loss. I gotta say like yeah, like so why did this happen? So if I can like trying to find a reason, like, you don't have always have to, but so this happened because NQES took out this high, right? So that caused YM to retrace, start like CSDing lower, as you can see here. Now, is this going to be a true reversal? No, there's no cracking correlation here. So then YM becomes the weakest asset, which causes RTY to reverse. I believe that's what happened today. And then this becomes the middle asset. It almost never the case, but yeah. So YM was the middle asset because this was the weakest, and like yes, NQ were the strongest. Like I mean, NQ was the strongest, right? But this is like the second strongest. So still, so seeing that, I'm like, I mean, there's no way, like, unless we reswept this low, like, I was willing to trade, like, reswept this low and start reversing it right away. I was probably willing to trade, or like perhaps, I don't know, a C4 hour gap, like this hourly gap, I would say. It's still tradable, right? We put in a new 6 a.m. low. Right, 6 a.m. low is like this candle. We put in a new 6 a.m. low inside of this hourly. It's a little bit deeper retracement, but it's a retracement away from equal highs, right? So it's like pretty high probability. Again, if you get a correct calculation, even better. And I mean, yeah, market's been cooking me, so I'm only up 2 hours for this week. I didn't trade yesterday as well. Again, I still think it's like a pretty shitty ass market conditions. Otherwise, like this probably hits in my like backtesting experience. So there's the executions where I mean we got insane feel. Like this is literally like tick bottom ticking this. I don't know how the fuck I did that. Yeah, that's why I guess stop that breaking in there. Um I mean yeah, that's it. I don't think I could have done anything better. Even working off of that for this is probably a good choice. Um and yeah, I mean I gotta remain patient. You gotta stay patient here. Is the name of the game. So okay, I'll see you guys until the next trade recap, I guess.